Women's Roles in Ancient Mesopotamia, Part 1. It's not that there's necessarily a lot of information about this topic, however, the timeline of ancient Mesopotamia is long, so I will divide it into several parts. And there's lots to dive into for each of these. Before I get started on explaining women's roles in Mesopotamia, it is extremely important to understand where this is located. Mesopotamia means the land between two rivers. It is situated between the Tigris and Euphrates river system, as I hope you can see on my map here. Part 1. Prehistory. Now, an important note about prehistory is that it essentially means any material culture or any cultures that came before written language. So we'll start off in PPNA and PPNB, lasting from around 10,000 to 6,000. These are before the advent of pottery, but also after the Neolithic Revolution. It's the transition period from hunter-gatherer to a settled lifestyle. Try to imagine this time period. Before pottery, before writing. Really, what are our sources? Well, we have to look at things like art, material culture, such as sites like Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, and, of course, bones. An article released in 2017 by Science Advances found that the early Neolithic skeletons, which is women who lived 7,400 and 7,000 years ago, had leg bones similar to the strength of today's female athletes. But even compared with women on the Cambridge competitive rowing team, the prehistoric women's arms were 11 to 16% stronger for their size. I find this study particularly interesting because it shows that women in the Neolithic time period presumably didn't feel any different from the men. They still had to do lots of laborious work, which made them super strong. Most likely they were still sowing crops and helping with the architecture. You could argue that because society was just in its beginning forms, that it couldn't really afford to give women such a secluded role and just staying at home. It wasn't really an option for this. It was key to their survival to be a part and an active member in society.